I'm not sure about that. I did have a couple subs, when I used to have a PO box, I had a couple subs send me art of myself, a couple drawings, a couple paintings. It made me feel like a school teacher, like collecting like little projects from my students. I guess it's not really strange, but it was funny, and I did keep them. The single worst way a sub has ever tried to win me over is carrot dangling. I can't stand subs that are promising me all the things that they're going to do for me and how much money they have and, you know, the ways that they're going to make my life better or whatever when they haven't actually done anything. That just like infuriates me. I think most of the subs that have met me have all had a similar comment, which is that they could feel my power through the screen and through my clips, but I'm much more powerful feeling in person. If I had a sub give me an unlimited shopping spree today, I'd probably go to Neiman Marcus and check out their holiday collection. I think I'm naturally a good leader, so that part of dominance comes pretty naturally to me. I am truthfully not the most organized person, so keeping track of all the different subs that I have going on, you know, different tasks that I've given them with time limits, and staying organized with those things has been the most challenging for me. Yes, I have stopped sessions when subs' mental health are clearly coming up. Like, I actually stopped a session recently and almost completely cut off a sub who was just kind of using me as a therapist and just telling me how depressed he is and how unhappy with his love life he is. Because I'm not a therapist. And I love to play with toys, and I love the fantasy of life ruining, but I don't actually want to cause severe mental distress to any of my subs, and it's not enjoyable for me, and that makes me want to stop playing when I can see it's kind of become like a self-harm thing for that sub. I think all men desire to serve, and I think that it's a very natural trait, and I think a lot of men try to fight their submissive tendencies, but I think even a lot of so-called alpha men have very submissive tendencies when they're with the right woman and they want to serve her and they want to please her, and I love to just normalize that for them and kind of plant that seed that I think all men are secretly like that, especially because men don't really talk about their sexuality much generally with other men. It depends on the sub, because, you know, if we don't have a relationship and a sub is resisting me, I find it very off-putting. But I have a few subs that cannot resist me and have begged me to block them and begged me never to communicate with them, but it's kind of all part of our little game. And those subs, I tell them I will never block them, and I have so much fun sending the occasional little like poke to them because I know that they can't resist. I think a lot of people misunderstand consent in power play in that for a lot of subs, they do really enjoy saying, no, 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 stop, stop, stop. And I do have a safe word with a lot of my subs, especially when we're doing any real-time sessions. I don't really do those anymore, but when I did. And I think someone who's not familiar with BDSM would look at that and say, oh my God, she's not stopping when he says stop. She's hurting him, she's violating consent. But in a lot of those BDSM scenes, we have an agreed upon safe word, and no, stop is never the safe word. And those subs know that. I think some subs send to feel safe and that I'm not going to just drop them, and they send to make sure that I know that they're useful. I love subs that send to feel a rush though, and it's like a drug to them, and they just keep sending and sending and sending, and they get so excited each time they send, versus a sub who sends and is like, was that enough? Is that okay? You know, it's not as exciting, not as hot for them. As a financial dom, what does too far look like? I don't know if there is such a thing. I think I see this discussed a lot, especially in the Findom community. And, you know, if a sub is telling you, Goddess, I can't pay my bills if I send this, should I send it? I think a lot of newer doms in the scene would say, no, I wouldn't take his money for bills. My thoughts are that these are grown, consenting men who are seeking out this service and enjoy this behavior. And a lot of the time when they say things like that, no, if I send this, I'll be completely bankrupt. I won't have anything in my account. A lot of the time I don't believe them. I've met quite a few subs who have an account specifically for draining purposes, and then they have backup safety nets. So I generally assume that's the case. I do actually have subs tell me, no, I'm not going to be able to send that, and I respect that. But I will usually try to push a little bit, and yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, they're grown men and they know their bills, they know their financial situation much better than I do. And yeah, so I will always push for as much as I can take. Who am I when no one is submitting to me? I'm still very driven, I'm still very ambitious, but I am a pretty chill person in my personal life. I love to hang out with my animals, love to be with my friends, go outside, go on hikes. I'm definitely a very curious person. I love human psychology, so I watch a lot of documentaries and read a lot about that. I think that's partially why I'm so successful in my career. But yeah, I would say curious, ambitious, driven, and generally pretty relaxed and just enjoying my life. Subs that lose me, like that are cut off from me, I don't think they ever really recover. I've had subs that I cut off 6 years ago that still message me. I think my personality has a very addictive quality to it. I've seen that with my ex-boyfriends as well.